And with us in studio right now is Mr. Roger Schlesinger, a.k.a. the Mortgage Minute Guy. Roger, always good to see you.
Nice to see you, Don.
Roger, you and I had a conversation on the phone talking about what we were going to talk about here on the program, and you weren't exactly very happy. You want to tell us about that?
Well, yeah, you know, Wednesday the bond market had a bad day, and no one's exactly sure whether it was a bad auction, although they did have a pretty good bid to cover ratio, or whether it was the fact that they were talking about downgrading British bonds. But nevertheless, it went on a tear and closed at 3.699. That was the 10-year Treasury note, and that was up probably a half to three-quarters of a point for the day. But what it did is it culminated of a week of going up about over half a point, and so the mortgage market decided, well, you know, we better follow. Even though we have decoupled, we're going to follow anyway, and so our mortgage rates jumped a half a point yesterday. We had 5 revisions in one day, and they just kept taking them higher and higher and higher. Now, after the dust settled, we found that the Treasury or the Feds went in and bought the normal $5 billion worth of mortgage backs, but nothing more, and they left a lot of people standing on the sidelines, and all of a sudden there's a big concern. Are they going to complete the amount of money that they talked about, the $1.25 trillion worth of mortgage backs? Because I don't think they're in more than $400 or $500 billion right now.
Okay.
And so I expect rates will come back down.
Okay.
I think a lot of lenders were looking for an excuse to kind of clear the decks, and people who weren't locked in, you know, tough people who were, you know, sitting around worrying about it, have something to worry about. And so they just cleared it up. They're going to get through their inventory, and then they'll start lowering their rates again and bringing people back into it.
Well, we saw that home sales in April had bumped up a little bit against expectations, actually. And I guess what we're seeing is a lot of bargain hunters out there, because, you know, prices in homes right now are probably at the best levels that we're going to see in a long time and have seen in a long time. But you had mentioned once on the program, I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, that it's time for people to stop waiting for the bottom, because you feel the bottom has been there, and if you're looking for a mortgage, it's kind of a time to move now. Do you still believe that?
I do. I think we've reached the bottom in the mortgages. I think we've reached the bottom in real estate. Now, there was a story out on Thursday that said that 1 out of every 12 persons in the United States is in foreclosure now. That's 8%. And that's, you know, right about, we've always talked about 92% are making their payments and 8% are doing something, so now maybe they're all in foreclosure. Mm-hmm. I still don't think that's going to affect real estate, because we are now seeing in various areas around the country multiple offers, and not just on REOs, which are real estate owned foreclosures, but on some of the higher level homes. So there is a demand for real estate. Mortgage rates have been low. I think they'll still be low for a while, but you're not going to be there forever, and by this time next year, everybody's going to be kicking themselves, as they normally do when they miss a golden opportunity like this.
Well, if someone doesn't want to be kicking themselves a year from now and they want to pick your brain personally, how do they get a hold of you?
They can call me at 866-304-9378 or write to me at mortgageminuteguy.com.
Roger Schlesinger, the Mortgage Minute Guy, and take it from me, this guy is the authority on mortgages. If you have a problem, if you have a concern, give him a call. Roger, thanks so much.
Thank you, Don.